So you've kind of got the self who has this thing of codes, but you've got like everyday things as well, right? Because for example, like isn't like the number eight lucky? And like you've got like things like the devil number, like 666. Like where does this sort of come from?
So eight would essentially be more so abundance. That's what eight represents. Seven would be more so luck. That's why they say lucky number
Oh
seven.
yeah,
People who have seven are more so luck. But six, now that you bring up that topic, we are carbon beings. And low frequency becomes matter. Light becomes matter when it falls. So you look at the elements, six carbon, carbon copies, carbon, this human flesh form. So when you see six, especially in numerology, it's a reminder not to give in to your lower self, to sink, go into your emotions, what you are feeling at that current moment. Like let's say you're getting pissed off that somebody cut you off on the road and you just want to curse them out and get out your car and beat them up. And then all of a sudden you see their license plate say 666. That is the universe way of telling you to don't give into those reptilian nature, that animalistic nature, the things that make you human, those human emotions, rise above it. So pay attention to your surroundings and think of, okay, what will my higher self do? Because the devil is just your lower self. There is no, from especially what I've witnessed, there is no heaven and hell. This is essentially hell. Coming back and doing this all over again. That's what you mentioned, samsara. Nirvana is getting out of this loop or
right.
escaping liberation. So when you see 666, you are serving thy flesh and you're not living like that. That's just a sign to like really just not serve your lower self, not serve this carbon being that makes you up,
So
but to
so
go ahead.
if I'm driving my car and I see the number plates are 666, I've got to be like, okay, I've got to use my higher self here because something that might be getting to a situation where my lower self is vulnerable.
Yes. And that's what they call angel numbers, but they're just really codes or synchronicities from the universe being sent down to you just to kind of guide you along the way. That's from your higher self. Those are little nudges that your higher self is going to say, hey, make this right, because if you go down there, I already saw how this played out, you don't survive. So your higher self nudges you through these gut feelings or sometimes numbers, because that's how the divine communicates with you, through synchronicity, these patterns, these repeating patterns that show up in your life.
Yeah,
So if you're any angel number that you see, you just have to think to yourself, like, what's happening? For example, if you see 222 and you're at an interview, that's the universe way of saying you're at the right place at the right time. This is what's meant for you. Or if you are in a process of, like for me, for example, I'll use one of my most recent signs. Remember how I said I was on a hiatus of not creating content? Well, the other day I saw the gas station price. It was 333, $3.33. And that was the universe way of saying it's time for you to create again. Get back to doing it. Your hiatus is over. But prior to that, I saw a number. What was it? I remember seeing 444, which meant, even though it comes after three, but that was my sign that I saw before, where it said it's time to be grounded, stay built, like gain stability. One is a very grounding number. Two, all these different. Oh, I'm sorry, not one. One is more so like it's time to go. Two, these numbers play in a yin and yang cycle where it's like you think of one as the seed being planted, and two, it's starting to grow. Three, it's starting to flourish, it's starting to create, it's starting to blossom. And four, you're getting back to your foundation. You think of a foundation has four corners, four like pillars, all this to build stability. So it's just like the universe way of saying you need to be stable or be grounded. Because I was just left the Monroe Institute. I was going through a form of spiritual psychosis. Now it was like, all right, come back down, ground yourself,
yeah.
enjoy the human experience.
I, is this sort of only go up to nine then? Like, and it's always like three digits or three times rather.
Well, you look at like Tesla, for example, like nine is the governor of all numbers prior to it, because everything else is a derivative of nine, or nine is the only thing that multiplies into itself. So it's essentially, it stops at, numbers stop at nine, because one and zero or anything else,
Okay.
any number after nine is something with another number.
Mm.
But nine is just like everything. It's what rules this realm essentially.
Yeah, and does this kind of communication with the universe come in any other form? Because you kind of mentioned like frequencies and um, vibrations, patterns. Can it be like sort of sounds and sort of other forms?
Absolutely. Sounds can take you back into certain time periods. You hear a sound, you use your olfactory nerves, sound, smell. Like certain smells can trigger memories that you didn't know you had, but sounds definitely.